out here. There is no good, and there is no bad. To survive out here, you gotta out-monster the monster.
Can you do that?
Give him hell, baby.
Bye, Dad.
Everybody listen up!
Marcus, you got a new partner.
Allow me to introduce Chris.
Hey, so can we talk about this?
Hell no.
The rules around here different. You better learn fast.
Hey, man. How's your job going?
I'm trying to make a difference.
Police!
He's on the run! Get down! Get down! We're family. Your job, get home at the end of the night.
Let's make this one for the books.
Call just went out. 2.5 minutes.
Rápido!
What you got for me?
We're dealing with the four-man team.
They got pictures of my family. Be careful what you Insta-Google tweet page. This guy's the leader. You gotta ask yourself, who's that fourth guy?
Don't make me regret pulling you cops in for this.
You all right? Yeah, man. I'm good. You?
It's like a changing of the guards. We changing out the frauds. I gave these lions heart like my name ended in Oz.
I wanna find out what you fixing to do. Does anyone believe something very big is about to go down?
I don't have a problem taking out a cop.
There's gotta be a different way.
I do a cop just like
Gunshots going off that'll awake the dead.
There is no limit to what desperate men will do when pushed.
Triple 9, officer down. Please respond, all units.
Guys, thanks so much for being here.
You look great, man.
You guys look pretty great too.
We dressed ourselves.
That's true. I did not dress myself.
I know.
How did you know that, Anthony? My first question for you is, a lot of cop movies come out in a year, a lot of cops and robbers movies come out in a year, but rarely are they ambitious and sprawling and directed with such style and ambition that Triple 9 is. How do you know that you're going to get that going into a cop movie? Is it in the script? Is it in the way that John Hillcoat talks to you about the story and how he's going to be as a director on set? How do you know you're not getting involved in another cop movie this year?
You never know. I mean, you always take a chance when you start a movie, but John had a clear sense of what he wanted. He had showed us a lot of pictures. He talked about the other movies that he wanted it to be like or inspired by, French Connection and Heat and stuff like that.
The sprawling ones, the cop movies.
Yeah, the visceral, intense cop movies. And so, he was aiming for something that was exciting, and you don't know if you're ever going to get there, but he did.
Because the cast in this is crazy. I mean, you two are amazing in it, but then you have Kate Winslet, you have Aaron Paul, you have Chiwetel. It's unbelievable, the cast that they got for this. So I imagine that John's pitch to you guys must have been, was it just talking about Heat and the French Connection, or did you just really have faith in the script when you first read it, Anthony?
It was really 100% John's vision. John Hillcoat, if you've seen his other movies, yeah. I mean, they're just so visually stimulating. They're, that was a hard word.
It's bringing the two together.
Visibility stimulating. But it's just, he has this strange ability to pull performances out of actors. And I think that's because he put actors in a place of comfort and safety. At no point in time do you come to set and say, I have an idea about this scene or this character, and he says you can't do that. He always finds ways to incorporate your idea into the film. So you see bits of yourself in the character, and it makes you feel more comfortable about where the movie's going. So you're willing to do everything he asks you to do.
Now, the film was shot around Atlanta, and it is definitely not a tourism video for Atlanta in any way. It does not paint the most beautiful picture of what Atlanta looks like. What was it like for you guys shooting there?
Well, Casey has a really nice house in the movie. There's some very nice homes in Atlanta. Good barbecue.
Yeah, there's a lot to be said for Atlanta. Mackie just said it. No, I like that city a lot. There's, I like the South. There's a lot of great history there, and there's a lot of things to do. And you're not working. I mean, we obviously went to I went by, MLK's birthplace, and there's all kind of, there's the old civil rights movement. So there's a lot to see and do there. But yeah, the movie was showing the kind of rougher parts of the city. Yeah.
It's sort of taking over a lot of the Walking Dead areas of Atlanta, it felt like at times. You have Kate Winslet in this film doing a role that I don't think we've ever seen Kate Winslet do. Was she attached to the movie before you guys got involved? Was that a big draw for you? I mean, I know that neither of you really get to interact much with her in scenes.
Well, it was for me. I did the movie because I thought I was going to be working with Kate Winslet. And then about 2 weeks in, I was like, I don't think Kate's in this movie. So we were doing the big shootout in the courtyard, and John made her come to set and say hello, because I was like, I'm walking off this movie and I don't meet Kate Winslet. And she came and said hello, and she was really nice. That was my whole extent of working with her.
Did you fanboy out? I mean, you've worked with a lot of massive people. Did you fanboy out a little bit?
I did. I took out my phone, I took a picture, sent it to my parole officer. Work release, homie, work release. And no, I'm not on probation, I'm not.
It's different when you're not forced to be doing a scene with someone or working with them when they're actually just showing up to say hi, or you're just getting to say hi. Then all the fanboyness kind of comes out of you. You have nothing to say, but like, I love you in this and I love you in that.
True. I was like, yo, you are the one man.
Did she know who you were?
She had no idea. She was actually, she was like, thank you, I'm here to see Casey. And I was like, no, Anthony, fuck it, all right, no doubt.
How did you guys work on your scenes together? There's definitely a sort of animosity between the two of your characters, and then it grows into something different as the movie goes on. Did you have rehearsal time, or did you just sort of get in and start swinging when you had to shoot?
That's pretty much the story of our relationship in real life.
A certain amount of animosity, and then it changes over time? Do you fall back on the animosity?
We watched Miami Vice a bit. We rehearsed there.
The movie or the show?
All the old shows. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. Mackie's very easy to work with. Sometimes acting is a pretty easy job. Sometimes it can be a little bit tedious. That's the only complaint anyone can fairly make. But Anthony shows up like full of energy and having a great time every single day, which can also be a little bit tedious sometimes. So he keeps it all fresh, and so he kind of, truth be told, I wish you weren't sitting here, but he makes it fun for everybody to go to work, and I think we had a pretty good working relationship. I also wish I worked with Kate a little bit more, but and him a little bit less, but such things.
As an actor, do you thrive off of what other people are bringing to you in the scene? Like when Anthony brings that energy and is possibly pushing your buttons maybe with that energy every now and then? Is that what you thrive off of as an actor?
That's one of the things. It helps, it helps a lot, yeah.
How does it work for you, Anthony, working with Casey?
Well, Casey is really, like, chill, relaxed. He's like, water under the bridge, right? It's calm. Then when you come from under the bridge and it's choppy, you know what I'm saying? See the metaphor? So he under the bridge, not outside the bridge.
You had to find a punctuation to kill that dead silence for a minute. You're like, water, bridge, come on, guys, get in on this.
Come on, metaphor. But we actually had a very good work relationship. And the thing is, I think that's because we showed up prepared and interested in the characters we were playing in the movie we was doing. Acting is like tennis. And if you have Federer and Agassi, and they're volleying to each other, see, if one of them missed the ball.
You're talking about the scenes between Chiwetel and Aaron Paul, right?
Yeah. Aaron Paul, Chiwetel. So, when you're hitting the ball to each other, you have to be very concise about making sure that person can hit the ball back across the net. The hardest thing in acting is listening, and most actors are awful listeners. And you always know when you have a great actor, because if you say a line different, they respond differently. a lot of actors learn their lines and say it the same way every time. Even if you whisper, they still yelling at you. You know, and it's like, well, we ain't fighting no more, dog. We done switched it up.
How do you handle that as an actor? Do you try to?
What did you say? I wasn't listening.
One of the things that I really loved about the film is that it seems like I said, there's a lot of cop movies that come out in a year, but what felt different about this is it felt like the actors might have done some research. They're holding their guns differently. There's an element of reality to your performances when it comes to either playing the special ops guys or the cops. Casey, for instance, you two have this amazing scene where you're storming a drug dealer's apartment and you're holding the shield above you and you're going room to room, and it feels very particular and tactical, like it knows exactly how this would actually be done. Was that just in the script? Did you do research with John Hillcoat to find out exactly how to do that?
There's a little bit of that. John wanted all of us to spend some time with the real police officers and do a little bit of research, so we didn't look like we were just imitating other actors in other movies, and we're sort of holding the gun right and moving our feet right and doing all the things that they teach you to do in police academy.
Tell them about your ride-along.
I did a ride-along.
End of story?
What happened? I did ride. Every actor since the beginning of time has done a ride-along. Now they put you in a car, and I think that it's like a theme park tour. Like we would go up, and there were like guys who were pretending to be gangbangers. I think on the, you know what I mean, like, and they'd go up, and the cop would be like, "That's so and so," and then they give me the evil eye, and I would see the cop and the dude wink to each other, and I knew it was all.
They were just extras from The Walking Dead or something.
Yeah. I don't think I went on a real ride-along.
You want to get the ride-along with, like, the training day cop, the guy who's sort of losing it that day, and is really going to take you all over the place. Yeah. Did you go on a ride-along as well, Anthony?
Nah, I just went to the hood, you know what I mean? Like, I just went knee-deep into the hood, you know, straight up, and just talked to people, sold something, bought something, you know what I mean? Clapped some hands, joined the gang. I mean,
you get jumped in?
Got jumped out, you know what I mean? And made it out, live, tell a story. Book coming out this summer.
That's unbelievable. What's the title of that book?
Keep Trapping in the Trap, Trap King.
My journey to playing a cop in
Trapping.
9. I see what you mean, Casey, about working with him. He brings an incredible
amount
of
energy. Every day, yeah.
I mean, come on, dude. We make movies. We're literally sitting in an air-conditioned building in New York with cameras on, sipping water. We could be doing a lot of worse shit, right? Like, my friends have crappy jobs. Every time I get hired in a movie, I'm like, fooled them again, you know? Hell yeah, you want me? Let's do it. Free food? Nice. You know?
So many actors actually say that. There's a truth to the phrase, fooled them again. So many actors come up here and say that every project they get feels like a challenge and that they're going to be found out in the middle of it. You're both pointing at each other. Do you still, I mean, both of you are sort of at the top of your game and have done incredible work before and are going on to do incredible work in the future. Do you still feel that way as an actor when you get onto a project that someone could find you out and find a better actor or something, that you're not the best for that role?
Well, I just think that there's no like tangible measurement of whether someone's good or not. So if people say if you're being successful, you think like I'm not even sure what it is. It's not like we put so many rivets on the side of a car that day. We did 100. We're better than the other guy who's putting things on the side of the car. So
you didn't hit 50 home runs or anything.
We didn't hit a piece of pressed metal. Like you have a little stick in it.
He
pull
does
the stick
do that.
out and it presses together, holds the car together.
But it's, also, it's partly that we feel so, like you said, you're lucky to have this job and to be able to make a living being creative and being around fun people. So it's not so much that you think you're going to be found out for being a fraud, although in some cases it is. But it's just that also you just think like, damn, we're pretty lucky to be doing this. You know, I wonder when it's going to run out.
Go ahead.
And the thing is, acting is the only job where you get more on-the-job training than McDonald's. You know, it's like every fool outside is like, man, De Niro was good in that movie. I'm going to be an actor. It's like, no, De Niro was good in the movie because he's a good actor. Not because it's easy, you know? And a lot of people think, you know, we live in a society now where people don't want to be actors, they want to be celebrities. So, you know, you're watching movies and it sucks because people can't act, but they can learn lines and smile and do like a Shakira move, and all of a sudden they have 1 million followers.
People want the accolades. They don't necessarily want to do the work.
They want the attention. Yeah. Been popular since 7th grade. For real, it all started in 7th grade. 1st through 6th, I was like awful. 7th grade, I blew up. Literally, I mean, went through the roof.
As American men who were once boys, is it always kind of a lingering dream in the back of your head to one day get to play a cop? Like when you get to do the scene where you're holding a gun and you get to say like, hands up, some cop line, does it feel like you're finally living that dream that you may have had as a little kid? You get to play a cop or a robber, for instance? I guess not.
I don't know. That's a tricky one. I don't know. I mean,
Well, you're from Boston, so it's different.
What? Where are you from?
You played detectives. You played
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Thanks.
Yes.
Now toss it to Anthony on that one.
Mac wants to be a cop. What is this movie saying about police?
What is this movie saying about police? You want me to ask you? I'll ask you that. What do you think this movie's saying about police?
I'm not allowed to talk about police. Work release program. Know what I'm saying? So this Casey.
I don't think the movie's saying anything really about police. I think it's just a movie. It's about other things. It's not about like the police force.
I mean, not to sort of piggyback on the question that completely failed and bombed in front of this live audience. But the idea of, as an actor finally getting to play a cop, which is like a boyhood dream, rather the idea of finally getting to be in a movie like Heat or French Connection, does that resonate with you at all? Like there's a certain genre of movie that when that genre is done well, it's transcendent. It's amazing that genre exists for a reason. Is that something that you sort of latch on to a little bit?
Definitely. I think, the great thing about this movie and what John Hillcoat was able to do with this wildly diverse cast is put together a story that anybody could relate to. I think there's nothing about this movie that says anything about Atlanta or the Atlanta Police Department, because it's such a fantastical idea of what reality is. When you look at movies, they don't speak so much about the society that you're living in right now, for the most part. Some of them do. But this one speaks more about, the extreme of our reality. So, it's the extreme of the extreme as opposed to what it's like outside this wall right now.
Well, I think about you've had the chance to be in sort of superhero movies that have transcended the genre of superheroes.
Word.
You've had the chance to be like Gone Baby Gone transcends the genre of the private detective.
True.
As well as Assassination of Jesse James,
No
the
doubt.
Western genre.
You just
Word.
ignore him. Keep going.
That was pretty much it. And now you have 999. I mean,
Yup.
you're looking for things that can be inside of a genre, but can also maybe transcend it and become a great movie outside of that as well.
Boom.
Yes.
We got resumes, homies. That's what we do. I ain't gonna drop it because I'm gonna break it, and I ain't paying for it.
It was a pretty good resume that I listed for you guys.
Yeah, it was this guy. Gone Baby Gone was a really good movie if you haven't seen it. Really good. Casey has some really good movies coming out this year and next year, so y'all should go check them out. Know what I mean? It's kind of cool up here. Not trying to brag, but y'all done came up in the social lounge. Anthony Mackie, Casey Affleck. We just taking it easy. Grab a drink, come back. Yeah.
This isn't gonna go down that well. I'm impressed with what you just did, but can you believe that you just got that for what you just did? Let's turn it over to some questions from the audience. Do you have any questions out here?
All right, thank you guys for coming.
Hey, how's it going?
What up?
What's going on? So the last time you were here for the movie Shelter, which was a really dramatic role. Now you're here for 999, which is a cop and robbers type drama. And then you've done superhero movies. You got this action flick. You were a villain in 8 Mile, which is deep cuts for an Anthony Mackie fan. So, so I'm trying to figure out which sort of role are you finding yourself enjoying. You did The Night Before, which was a comedy. So, which genre do you find yourself having the most fun as an actor?
This is my first like broad. First of all, good question. Thank you so much. This is my first like broad action, like take the gun, jump over the car, shoot the dude movie, and I really enjoyed it, man. I love working in ensembles. That's why I love the Marvel movies so much. And this movie when we were shooting it, not to toot his horn or anything, toot, but. When you work with a group of actors who you admire and who you respect for their work, when you go to work every day, it's really easy because they're going to bring their game. So you don't have to worry about if they're going to know their lines, if they were out partying last night. You don't have to worry about the shit that you worry about on other movies when you're working with certain actors. And, it's really good when someone says you're part. It feels good when someone says you're a part of a great ensemble, because that means your greatness is acknowledged as well. So I really, if I could do, I would be the Hugh Grant of action cop movies, like Beverly Hills Cop 17. That would be me all day. All day.
Make it about Hugh Grant. Keep going. Make it about Hugh Grant.
That was a Hugh Grant reference, by the way.
Casey, what about you? You made I'm Still Here with Joaquin, which is a really fantastic documentary, pretty experimental. Assassination, not a documentary, excuse me, narrative film. You made Assassination, which is a somewhat experimental Western. Where do you find yourself straddling in terms of mainstream film and artistic experiments?
Those aren't the two categories that I'll usually break things down into, but I guess I'm drawn to things that if I'm inspired by the director or the material, and it could be something that's very mainstream, or like you said, because of the other people involved, or it could be something based on the material, like Jesse James, which it could have been a very conventional movie, or it could have been an experimental movie, or however you might call it. But it was because of Andrew. Dominic, the director, was sort of what it was. So I guess I get most excited by the people who are involved, who I'm going to get the chance to work with.
Next question.
Hi guys, I wanted to say to Anthony, I loved you since you played Papa Doc on 8 Mile, and I've been following your career, and I just love seeing it explode. But my question is to both of you. Would you guys work together again on another movie, knowing what you know now? And how do you pick and choose which projects you guys would work on?
I want like a midnight run with the two of you, like a buddy cop comedy.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I would love. I've been actively trying to work with Casey since we shot this movie, sending him scripts, texting him happy Christmas and happy birthday and shit, sending scripts like, yo man, read this, like, oh shit, I found this book, read that. So we're here today.
So Casey, do you care to respond? Why haven't you responded to his text?
I never got those scripts.
Oh, word? Where's bring me my phone. I'll show you. Maybe you ain't get the text. I'll let you read them. It's under Casey the Man Affleck. That's what I got you saved as.
Yeah, I would love to. I mean, there's very few people that have...
This is on tape. Speak.
Shit. Okay. Yes, I would do it.
Yes! I did not pay her to ask that question.
Last question from the audience.
Hey guys, so Anthony, you were talking earlier about how awesome it is to work in an ensemble cast. So I'm wondering, in working on this movie, have either of you two picked up any acting techniques from your fellow co-stars?
Woody likes to use the first 4 takes to memorize his lines. If that counts as a technique. What else? Nah, that's not true.
That's not true.
Prepared.
Asshole. That's not true. So true.
What about you? What did you learn?
Subtlety. I'm not a naturally subtle person. In acting, not in real life. In real life, I'm a fucking thug. But So, you know, working on this movie, there's a level of subtlety that comes to the approach of acting that I really admired in the group of actors I was working with that helped me pull back my performance and make it what it was. That I think I'll carry with me forever. It was it's a learning experience.
Well, guys, congratulations on the movie. I love a smart action movie, and that's exactly what this is. It was so much fun to watch. I kind of can't wait to see it again, and can't wait to see you guys do your buddy cop comedy. That's that.
That's it. This romantic comedy.
They just cut
That's
all the
it.
jokes out.
Yeah.
Wow.
Romantic. That's what we're gonna do. A romantic comedy, like Love Actually, with me and you and like two chicks.
When Harry met Henry.
You've got mail, Steve. How about that one? Steve, I'm emailing you. Texting. You've got a text.
We'll talk about this later.
Did you want me to, guys, you can keep going. I'll let you go.
I mean, would you see you got a text? See? Come on, man.
You see anything you're in.
See, we have great chemistry.
How come you didn't ask me any questions then?
Go ahead, ask him a question. Last question. Ask him a question. What's your question? Go ahead. Go ahead.
About our
no.
chemistry.
She has a question for you. Now she has a question for you.
Anthony, can I tell you I saw you in, and I also saw you in, and then I saw you in. Come on up here. Come on up here.
Go ahead. Ask him the question. Go ahead. She got a question for you.
Come here. Sit down. Ask him some questions.
That's it.
How was it working with Eminem?
It was a lot of fun, man. I love Eminem. He's ironically enough, Eminem wasn't an actor. He did the work and the preparation, and I think he delivered a mighty full performance in 8 Mile.
Okay, how was it working with Chris Evans?
You know the thing about
I love you
the
too.
thing. The thing about Chris is just a very intelligent actor. Like Chris is the guy that asks all the questions and know all the information before he comes to set. So, you know, he's a lot of fun to work with.
All right, this is for Casey. What's your next movie?
Huh?
Sans Anthony. What's your next movie without Anthony?
Oh, I only work with Anthony. That's how I get to be part of Q.
All right. We got that on tape. So,
guys, the movie comes out this Friday. It's called 999. You can see the three of them in it. It's really incredible. She delivers an amazing performance.